Hi, good night. My name is Il Hernandez, and I am a student at Seattle College presenting my video on my case study for HSBC. HSBC Bank has been in operation for many years. This is a bank who was founded on the premises that it will serve its customer to its best. HSBC, in doing this, has developed a hierarchical structure of management since the late 1800s. HSBC now has 150 years of existence. Technically, they were founded in 1865. They are in many and most countries globally. They have just above 230,000 employees, and they are, at this point in time, Europe's largest bank, with an asset of £3 trillion. HSBC is the 8th largest bank globally by assets. They could not have done this if they did not have a good management structure. And in servicing their customers with financial goods and services, they now have a customer base of over 40 million worldwide. But this case study will show that hierarchical changes can bring demise. Hierarchical changes can persuade employees to become demobilized. Hierarchical changes can bring problems to operation management. In my business report as a business consultant, I will critically analyze the challenges that face HSBC at this point in time in 2015. I will further critically evaluate the improvements to the operations management and internal structure of HSBC. And last but not least, I will provide enhancements to the performance and productivity of HSB operation globally, because this is what is needed for financial sustainability in the financial sector. After critical analysis, some of the main challenges facing HSBC are sustainable leadership. Because of that shake-up of leadership, of the hierarchical structure, of the CEOs being fired and terminated and new personnel coming on board, this created a disharmony within the internal structure, within the employees, within the managers, the branch managers. Every single person was affected by this leadership change. And this leadership change also shows that there was no gender diversity, because most of HSC's senior management were all males. And it is proven that this autocratic type of leadership cannot work, can no longer work in today's world, in the 21st century. It also shows that corporate governance was not being done well at this bank. Another main challenge was operations management. Because of the numerous diversities in the financial arms globally, they were spreading themselves very thin, to the point that quality management would have been affected. And quality in the financial sector is what gives you the key edge, that competitive edge for your customers to guarantee on your services. In operations management, that challenge can also produce itself in corporate social responsibility. What was the bank really doing to ensure that their social responsibility to the community is there? These are some of the challenges that face this bank at this present time. I will also look at the financial decline. Yes, this bank had major financial losses. It even added up into decreasing profits throughout its global operations, from Europe to China to Asia. And it also had a challenge in the human resource and productivity. In the shake-up, the bank had initially tried to put things in place to reduce from 4 levels of management to 3. Even though this would have caused a change in the structure, they didn't realize that it's human beings that they are dealing with. And sometimes, yes, the change is what is needed, but it was not done properly. And it can cause serious decrease in morale and decrease in motivation. And if this did not do harm at that point in time, an internal memo was sent by the then manager. This internal memo was, the language used was so harsh, so intentional, that even employees, when they read it, felt that they were not valued. And value is what creates competitive edge in the workplace. If your employees are not valued and appreciated for who they are, you are going to have serious problems in your banking sector. I also did some critical evaluation, and these are some of the areas that I have picked out. Culture. The bank is top heavy in male senior management. There needs to be a cultural diversity of bringing females into the workplace, bringing females into the management structure, bringing females into the corporate boardroom. They did it in India. They can replicate it in China. They can do it in Australia. They can do it in the United States and England. They need to change their corporate culture. That organizational culture that they had from the past cannot now work in the future. Employees in the future want to be cherished. They should employ the competing value framework, which says an integration of systems need to be put in place to bring value within the banking structure. I have also analyzed critically and evaluated the change management. The change management that is needed can be done in 5 steps. HSBC needs to prepare the plan, craft the plan, implement this new strategic plan, embed it into all of the areas worldwide. And they need to review and analyze every step of the way at every global financial bank that they have, so that they can see how the performance is going to work. They need to do this now. And one of the changes that I would employ is the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, which is built on 6 main areas. Build the team. HSBC must build a strong team based on leadership, because leadership starts at the top. Leadership gives you what you need. They should set goals, not only short-term but long-term goals, financial goals, digital financial goals, e-financial goals, so that the customers could have futuristic products and services available to them. They must create a strategic plan. This plan must be diverse in its application. HSBC must do the work, get down on the ground and meet the employees and find out what is going right and what is going wrong. They need to do the work. But HSBC needs to also support the change. They need to put their money where their mouth is. They need to supervise. They need to look at all the criteria that made them Europe's #1 bank. And this is what will keep them there. They need to enhance it. Another aspect, accept resistance. If there's resistance, that tells you that this is one of the key areas that needs to be looked at. So the Chicago School of Professional Psychology is one of the attributes that I would recommend that the bank take. I also critically evaluated their performance and productivity. Based on COVID-19, many employees were now at home. This hybrid work model can work. It can reduce CO2 emissions, reduce waste, reduce printing. It can impact on the employees' well-being substantially and sustainability. It gives credence to what is now called the high-performance work system. I am also looking at the fact of bringing a financial service to help HSBC with their program management, their change management system. Look at their experience design. Their data mapping, yes, technology is coming fast and furious. Their business intelligence to monitor what their customers want, what their customers need, in the future what their customers will need and want. These are the futuristic attributes of good management. My recommendations to HSBC at this time is to put employees first, not last, not second or third, but first. 230,000 employees must come first. This is what will give the bank the value, the competitive edge to go ahead in this digital technology in the 21st century. They need to employ the high-performance work system that will give the employees the motivation to do it right, to create the financial impacts, to develop the services, to service the customers, and to look for more financial gain. Profits. This is what the bank wants. But how can this be done? By an integration of all the areas. And it starts with leadership. Leadership from the top will build good corporate governance. It will build a proper HR system. It will give the operations management what they need so that they can manage and service all the areas. And first but not last, or last but not first, they have to look at performance monitoring. Because in a hybrid mode, we need to ensure that employees are doing the job at home when they are not in the workplace. These recommendations, if employed by HSBC, can guarantee them a change around, not only in the short term, but in the long-term future of the bank. My conclusion is simple. HSBC leadership must take the lead. And they must do this with a regenerative type of leadership. It must be a top-to-bottom-down approach. Build from the top. Show the employees that you care. Show that you value them. Create that value and they will bring value to the customer. And if the intentional changes are done, the creation of value will keep HSBC as a leader in the banking community for years to come. I have used several references from experts and journals to create this business report. If you would like to refer to any references, you can do so in my business report. I thank you. My name is Earl Hernandez, and I am a business analyst consultant. Thank you kindly, and have a good night.